County School Board Workshop for March 25, 2024. I call this meeting to order. All right, board members, we'll look at our agenda here. So tonight, after we do a call to order, we'll go to our approval of agenda. At this time, there are no changes. Of course, things can happen over the day, but right now. Number 3 is recognitions, and you know I'm excited about this one. We've waited several months to get our Lady Gators up here. I just hope they remember, because you know there's no school today, but I'll make a phone call, and I'm excited to, you know, I wanted to say one thing about these young ladies that we don't always bring out, and that obviously they're wonderful student athletes. Many of them are honor students, almost all of them are the seniors graduating with some kind of level of honors, but I want to talk about their character. I don't know about you, but when I was in school, I didn't even know who my school board member was or what, you know, it was just some people, but as I followed them and went and cheered them on, I want you to know that every single one of those girls came up and personally thanked me for being there. And that shows a lot of the character, of course, good parenting and good coaching, but it meant a lot that they noticed that I was there. So lots going on with these ladies, so it'll be great to celebrate them tonight. All right, we have no administrative personnel appointments tonight, number 4. We do have, 5 is public comment. We don't know that yet until this is the blue card version. 5.1, members of the public desiring to address the school board regarding agenda items only. Moving on to committee and staff reports, item 6, 6.1, we have in-county travel paid for February 2024, presented by Ms. Perry. 6.2, out-of-county travel paid for February 2024, presented by Ms. Perry. 6.3, the Okaloosa County District School Board audited financial statements for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023, presented by Ms. Perry.
Can we comment on that real
Yeah,
quick?
I was thinking you might have a comment on that.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yep, awesome. Good job, Ms. Perry and your team. And, you know, what people don't realize is that the school district budget is not like your at-home budget or anything like that. It is broke down into so many categories, and to have a clean audit and all is just
Oh, yes,
awesome.
sir. And I'm very, very proud of my team. They did a great job. We had absolutely, we budgeted, I mean, the audit was of that $700 million budget. There were absolutely no findings. They also did some deep dive into some of the federal programs, and no findings there. They, like I said, they're very proud, very proud.
People don't realize there's a lot of I's to dot and T's to
Oh, yes,
cross,
ma'am.
especially when you're looking at school budgets. I mean, and so many people that are involved. And I know, I think it's going to be coming up on 7.9, but we've mentioned a few times about, like, invoices to be paid. Sometimes those board bills, but, you know, things happen.
Right.
But when we mentioned it one time, you went back with the training and talking to people and reminding, and the last couple of meetings, we haven't had any board bills. Not to say that, you know, vendors and people slip up and send things through, but you can tell you're right on the top of things, and you go back with your people and you train and talk, and it's evident with the no findings today.
Yes, ma'am. And when those mistakes do happen, that's why we make sure and bring those board bills to you, so that we don't have any findings.
Exactly, exactly. Your hard work, your team, it definitely shows. So, nice
And all
job.
the categories, you know, it's so, public education budget's so categorical that you
Yes,
have to
it
make
is.
sure it's coming out of, so it's not just one big pot of money.
Yes.
And just to
yes.
highlight the significance of this audit, when did this audit start?
August.
So August until where we are. So this is a very detailed audit.
Mm-hmm.
And again, just like you've already stated, Mrs. Perry and her group, they do a great job, and she does a wonderful job of giving credit to her team, which she should, but also credit goes to Ms. Perry, who leads this group. So just appreciate the work that they do each and every day.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Thank you. All right, that moves us on to section 7, the consent agenda. 7.1 will be the approval of the consent agenda. 7.2 will be the approval of the minutes of the student disciplinary hearing of March 11th, 2024. Also, the minutes of the workshop meeting of March 11th, 2024, and minutes of the regular meeting of March 11th, 2024. 7.3, appropriation of District 3 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Choctawhatchee High School for technology equipment in the amount of $977.99. That's presented by me and recommended by the superintendent. 7.4, appropriation of District 4 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Kenwood Elementary School for Clear Touch panels in the amount of $6,242, presented by Mr. Bryant. 7.5, request for authorization to schedule and advertise a public hearing to receive public input and consider final approval of the proposed purchase and sale agreement between the School Board of Okaloosa County, Florida, and Thomas Dwayne Walther for real property located in Baker, Florida, presented by Dr. Bill Smith, Program Director, Facilities and Planning. 7.6, request for authorization to schedule and advertise a public hearing to receive public input and consider final approval of the proposed purchase and sale agreement between the School Board of Okaloosa County, Florida, and Stewart and Sons Investments, LLC, for real property located in Baker, Florida, presented by Dr. Bill Smith, Program Director of Facilities Planning. 7.7, Budget Amendment Number 6, Fiscal Year 2023-2024, presented by Ms. Perry. 7.8, Monthly Financial Statement for February 2024, presented by Ms. Perry. 7.9, Invoices to be approved for payment, presented by Ms. Perry, Chief Financial Officer. 7.10, School Donations, presented by Ms. Perry. 7.11, Payroll Warrant Register and Accounts Payable Warrant Register totaling $25,481,085.76. Self-health insurance claims and fees totaling $2,408,276.86, and bank transfers totaling $25 million for February 2024, presented by Ms. Perry. 7.12, check recovery agreement between the School Board of Okaloosa County and Profituity for NSF check recovery services, presented by Ms. Perry. 7.13, ITB 24-02, asphalt paving of parking lots, repair seal coating and striping, concrete curbing and sidewalks, presented by Mr. Wyndham. 7.14, RFP 24-01, external independent auditing services, committee recommendation, presented by Mr. Wyndham. 7.15, RFP 24-02, internal accounts, external independent auditing services, committee recommendation, presented by Mr. Wyndham. 7.16, tag-on bid purchase over $50,000, Howard Technology, presented by Mr. Wyndham. 7.17, tag-on bid purchase over $50,000, Weatherproofing Technologies, Inc., WTI, presented by Mr. Wyndham. 7.18, tag-on bid over $50,000, Playmore Recreational Products and Services, presented by Mr. Wyndham. 7.19, agreement to grant Florida Power and Light Company a 30-foot wide utility easement at Lewis School, presented by Dr. Smith. 7.20, agreement to grant Okaloosa Gas District a 15-foot wide utility easement at Bob Sykes Elementary School, presented by Dr. Smith. 7.21, agreement to grant Okaloosa Gas District a 15-foot wide utility easement at Shalimar Elementary School, presented by Dr. Smith. 7.22, agreement to grant Okaloosa Gas District a 15-foot wide utility easement at Plough Elementary School, presented by Dr. Smith. 7.23, agreement to grant Okaloosa Gas District a 15-foot wide utility easement at Ruckle Middle School, presented by Dr. Smith. 7.24, service line extension agreement with Okaloosa Gas District for Bob Sykes Elementary School, presented by Dr. Smith. 7.25, service line extension agreement with Okaloosa Gas District for Shalimar Elementary School, presented by Dr. Smith. 7.26, service line extension agreement with Okaloosa Gas District for Ruckel Middle School, presented by Dr. Smith. 7.27, service line extension agreement with Okaloosa Gas District for Plough Elementary School, presented by Dr. Smith. Okay, we got all those extensions for those lines, right? We got them covered. All right, let's move on to summer school, 7.28. We're already talking summer school. Summer school programs for the 2024 summer, SIS, Summer Intensive Studies, ESY, Extended School Year, Summer Scholars, and Junior Lifeguard Program for credit, presented by Ms. Barron, Director 1 of Curriculum Instruction. Okay, 7.29, Secondary Workforce Development Capitalization Incentive Program, the CAP grant, for fiscal year 23-24, presented by Ms. Branscombe, Program Director for Career and Technical Education. 7.30, Summer Voluntary Pre-Kindergarten Program, the VPK, for 2024, presented by Ms. Hahn, Principal. 7.31, Waiver of the OCEA Master Contract, requested by the Okaloosa STEM Academy to waive the daily planning period requirement for the 2024-2025 school year, presented by Dr. Martin, Principal at Okaloosa STEM. 7.32, application for the 24-25 school year renewal of the AFRL EFA initiative request for the District Science Department, presented by Ms. Ellis, Science Specialist, Curriculum and Instruction. Okay, we're going to move to Section 8, which is the Superintendent's Human Resources Recommendations. 8.1 will be for information only, and that's employees on administrative leave, presented by Dr. Hale. 8.2, also information only, Deferred Retirement Option Program, the DROP, presented by Dr. Hale. 8.3, request to double fill the Assistant Principal 2 10-month at Florosa Elementary School, presented by Dr. Hale. 8.4, employee separations, presented by Dr. Hale. 8.5, personnel recommendations, presented by Dr. Hale. 8.6, employee transfers, presented by Dr. Hale. 8.7, employee suspension, presented by Dr. Hale. 8.8, employee suspension, presented by Dr. Hale. 8.9, employee suspension, presented by Dr. Hale. 8.10, employee suspension, presented by Dr. Hale. 8.11, employee suspension, presented by Dr. Hale. 8.12, reinstatement, reimbursement of sick leave due to line of duty illness, injury, medical examination, presented by Dr. Hale. 8.13, leave without pay, presented by Dr. Hale. All right, Section 9, at this time, we don't have any items for discussion. That moves us on to Section 10, Construction Program Owners Representatives Business, and 10.1 is a program status report by Dr. Kelly.
We don't have anything today.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. All right, 10.2, TPM Program Number 6, Task Order Number 35, Scope Modification Number 1, Pre-GMP for a 12 classroom addition at Baker School, presented by Dr. Smith, Program Director. Glad for my Baker folks. There you go. All right. Moving on to Section 11, the Attorney's Business. Mr. McGinnis, what you got?
I have one item for tonight. We have a request from an employee for a hearing over a disciplinary matter. and we'd recommend that be referred to the Division of Administrative Hearings, and that's employee 105260. And I'll
Now,
ask
would
the
that
board-
require a vote tonight?
Yes, yes, ma'am. We'll ask the board to vote on that tonight.
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, then we move on to section 12. This is the superintendent's business. I see some people want to travel, a little field trip, but I know you have some other things too, sir.
Absolutely, and I appreciate it. So this time of the year, as you know, is an exciting time of the year, but it's also a very busy time of the year. And it's also a time of the year where we're finishing the year strong, but also preparing for the 2024-2025 school year. So a lot has gone into that, but I do want to say there's a few things that are going to happen this week and then some things happening throughout the rest of the school year. We have our annual CTE, our Career and Technical Education College and Career Signing Day. Mrs. Branscombe and her group have done a great job organizing this, and we're excited about Thursday. Mrs. Beasley will also be a part of this, but it takes a lot of work behind the scenes to make this occur. And I'm so proud because I think back many years ago where we talked about, athletic signing days. And we said, what if we did this for career and technical education? Students who are going to college, the military, or the workforce, applying their CTE skills in those areas. So this Thursday will be a celebration of that. And these are students, as you know, that have received or has achieved industry certifications in the various different programs that we have. So each year, it's gotten bigger and bigger. And this year, it's going to be at Maddie Kelly Art Center, so that tells you it's getting bigger. So just to Mrs. Branscombe and the group, just doing a great job highlighting our students. And again, these industry certifications, these are not just simple examinations. These are college-level type courses / certifications that these students pass, and they pass them at a great clip as well. So just appreciate our teachers for what they're doing with those programs and the support that we have from the local workforce with those programs. All of that working together allows us to get to Thursday for the CTE signing day. So just appreciate the hard work. Also, it's budget time. And we've talked about this the last several board workshops. And I'll reiterate that we've been working on this upcoming budget for months. And we've made adjustments along the way, even going back to last year and the year before with some of the, adjustments that we've made along the way. But one of the questions that I've received even since the last board workshop and board meeting is, will we be hiring in Okaloosa? And the answer is yes. We will be hiring instructional side for teachers, guidance counselors, and such. So on the instructional side, we still will be hiring. I'll just remind the board that normally we have about 200 or so folks who leave. A lot of times it's due to the military where they'll PCS out or they make other choices. So we will still be hiring on the instructional side, and we'll also still be hiring on the ed support side as well. I share that we will and are going through, a challenging budget, but we're making decisions accordingly, but we still will have the opportunity to hire instructional and ed support staff. Our principals will get their budget packets on April 15th. They'll start going through the HR recommendations process as well as their budget process. And then on April 26th is when the HR recommendations are back to HR, and then the budget packets are back to finance. So that'll be on April 26th. As you know, we also are working with BMG, and that's the program that's also able to help us bring in some teachers. As you know, Okaloosa, just like the nation, has had on the teacher side a teacher shortage. And we know on the ed support side, there's shortages as well in Okaloosa, across the state, and across the nation. So BMG is a company that we've worked with, we've contracted with, that will bring in some teachers as well. So again, will we make some adjustments? Yes, but will we still be hiring? Absolutely. April 17th through the 18th is the County Art Show. We talk a lot about Okaloosa being an A+ school district, meaning the academics, the athletics, and the arts. And we talk about on the arts side, we talk about band, chorus, theater, but it's also our art programs. And as you know, we have some very talented students in Okaloosa who create some amazing renditions or just things that it's their own personal account of an artistic rendering. So the students do a great job. So April 17th and the 18th at the fairgrounds will be the art show. And just want to thank Miss Kim Moran. She has supported this program and the arts program for years. And she does it kind of behind the scenes, but she does a great job. So April 17th, the 18th at the fairgrounds, you'll be able to see a lot of fantastic art pieces. Educate the Educator +1. As you remember, a number of years back, it was just Educate the Educator, where we would take our teachers, one from each school, and they would go to local industry and look at the job opportunities and look at things that will be available for our students. Now we have the Educate the Educator +1, where now it's the teachers who go and they also bring a student. And this year, it's going to be in the north end of the county. And as you know, it's been at the south end of the county for years. This year to be at the north end of the county. And our students will be going to Connex Smart, which is a defense contractor, defense industry, and then also the Crestview Medical Center. I just want to thank Nathan Sparks and Ms. Sumblin, who do a great job of really spearheading this with our school district. But just another opportunity for the school district, our students, and local workforce to work together for the benefit of the future workforce. So I just really appreciate that. A couple reminders, it's April is Autism Awareness Month. I just thank Mrs. Ard and her group working with our schools and getting activities out there. On April 2nd, it is Light It Up Blue for Autism Awareness Month, and that's going to focus on resources and funding and awareness of our autistic students and programs to help those students. And then April 7th is Light It Up Red, and that is going to be focusing on acceptance and understanding of our students. So again, just appreciate the awareness and appreciate Ms. Ard and her group really doing a good job of highlighting these students and programs. Another reminder that April is also Month of the Military Child. So there'll be a lot of activities that will happen around our military students and just thanking them for what they do. I know as I was a military student and had to move around a lot. And it was always the thing that was most uncomfortable for me was that first day of school and where am I going to sit to eat lunch? And of course, many of these students, not only do they do that, but also their parents are deployed. So there's that extra stress that many of these students have. But highlighting our students, this month, April 17th, will be Purple Up Day to really highlight the month of the military child. And then lastly, I want to say our curriculum team, very proud of what they've done. We have Mrs. Lightboard, Ms. Barron, who's new to the group. The last month and a half, they've met with every school, and they've looked at where they are at the mid-year point, and they've looked at several different data points and a lot of praising in terms of what the schools have done, but also adjustments that can be made over the course of the second semester leading to these final weeks where we know our students will take the PM3 test. But again, it takes a lot of time, a month and a half or so to speak, to meet with each and every school. That's time consuming, and just very much appreciate the work that they've done. The fourth 9 weeks starts tomorrow. You think back to August, how quickly this year has gone. So a lot has happened, and just appreciate teachers, staff, district staff, our school board members. The year's gone by quickly, but just appreciate what's happening in Okaloosa schools. That's it, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. Okay. All right, that's great. Now, that takes us down to section 13 for board members' announcements. Dr. Kelly, would you like to start today?
I'd be happy to, Madam Chair. Thank you. So, several things highlighted from Niceville High School. First of all, if you haven't known of or met Abigail Gunter, you need to make yourself familiar with her. She is a participant in the para division for Niceville High School track and field, and she threw a personal best of 4.65 meters in the shot put at the Mike Wells Shift Invitational at Enterprise, Alabama. She is truly inspirational. She really is. And then, of course, our Niceville High School Band received straight superiors at their recent performance. And student Alexis Crumnow scored 7th in the state in girls wrestling. And then shifting over to Ruckle Middle School, their chorus, 68 members strong, performed recently at the Lincoln Center in New York City with 6 captivating pieces. And I heard that they did exceptionally well, and they had many rounds of standing ovations. And we are 8.5 weeks now away from graduation. We're all counting down for those end of the year dates. And then finally, I'll just end with an exciting event always at Niceville, is looking forward to the play that Richie Jackson and his staff put on. So this year the play is Newsies, so if you do some research on that, it deals with the labor union and how young boys dealt with overcoming and overthrowing some of those child labor laws. But that will be presented May 3rd, 4th, and 11th and 12th. Tickets are on sale now, so I know you don't want to miss that. And I'll end there for today. Thank you, Ms.
All right, thank you.
Evangelist.
Mr. Bryant?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would just like to congratulate the Crestview High School Big Red Machine. They were in the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Chicago over the St. Patrick's Day holiday, and if you get a chance, it is on YouTube to watch them. They were about 20 minutes into the parade when they come marching down, and it was really neat to hear the commentators speak real highly of the band and all, and makes you proud when you see any of our schools representing outside of the county, and especially on a national spotlight like that. So it really is a great feeling, and just proud to be part of the Okaloosa County School District. And then our choir at Crestview High School, they were in France. So they were visiting our Crestview sister city there, and they were performing. I can never pronounce the name of the city. I'll just say it's in France. It's in the southwest part of it. And there's times that you can't get there because the tide will come in and cover up the road, and then the tide will go out, and then that's when everybody kind of makes their way to and from that town. But what a great honor for our choir to be able to go to France and be able to sing. And I know that's Mr. Lusk, he's getting ready to retire, so that was his last big trip, and I know it'll bring back have a lot of memories for not just the students, but for Mr. Lusk. And real quick, being the FSBIT trustee, we got some news over the holiday, over the spring break, and our Okaloosa work comp audit exit meeting was held, and the results far exceeded performance on the last audit. The percentage of compliance in many areas were far better than the state average, and the audit team was very complimentary. So congratulations to our risk management team on a outstanding audit there. And that is it, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Gardner?
Excuse me. I was also going to mention about Thursday, the signing day, and it has been exciting to see over the past couple of years the growth in this. And Ms. Bransom, you and your team have done an amazing job, and I look forward to participating in that on Thursday also. And also to thank you, Mr. Chambers, you and the team. I know Ms. Perry, Mr. Horton, they were there. I think Mr. Sposky had to slip out. But sitting down with us and going through the budget and taking the time to explain each piece of it, preparing us for what's going to be coming up. And I do appreciate that and the time to help us work through that. And that's all.
What? That's it?
I'm trying not to cough.
Don't cough. Okay. I have a couple things. First of all, I want to say that our college and career fairs were so successful. Those continue to get bigger and better, and I think it's wonderful that we're offering that to our students. And now we have Elliott Point, who's going to do an elementary career fair, which the foundation's helping with. And of course, they may not be talking college yet, but it's good for them to see professionals come in their professional capacity of what their job is, even the elementary, to see that. So that's great. Also want to talk about the Public Schools Foundation. A big part of that is our Take Stock in Children program, where we mentor, and we are looking for mentors now. We particularly need some male mentors. We have, what's great is our program's building, but we can't allow the students into the program without a mentor. That is the most, at the heart, that's the significant piece. So we have funding for scholarships, but we need mentors. So anybody out there hearing this that I mean, it's really a very small amount of time that you have to spend with the student, but it means so much to have that community member as a mentor. And so if you could mentor, please contact the Public Schools Foundation and let them know that you would like to be a mentor, because we've got that coming up.
May I
Ms.
add
Van-
something?
Ms. Vancheck,
Go
what
ahead.
area are we looking at? Is it the north end or the south end or all
Through-
across?
Yeah, really throughout the district, anywhere, it's all over, right? And so, yeah, so, and we want to put you where it's easy for you to get to and all that, so we'll work with you to make sure that you get there. And so it means so much. I mean, I've been a mentor, you've been a mentor, it's a very rewarding, and so
And
that's
may I
great.
add to that also, if you are a mentor, you do have the opportunity, if you're not always able to meet in person, there is a feature in the little app that you can do Zoom.
Yes.
So that is also convenient for individuals if they can't get away from work or need to do something quickly with a Zoom. You can also use
Yeah,
Zoom.
yes, yeah,
which
you
is
can do
helpful.
that,
Mhm.
yeah. Although we like, you
We
know,
want- You do, we
in-person's
do
best.
want the one-on-one. I do mean,
Mhm.
yes.
And then I want to talk about, on Wednesday, about the connecting with the orchestra that our elementary students are doing. That's really neat. So they're going to be connecting up with Carnegie Hall, and all. I think that's just fabulous that we bring that together. And so that's coming up on Wednesday, so that's exciting. All right, so let's move
Ms.
on.
Vancheck,
Oh,
before we move
sorry.
on, I forgot, there was one other quick thing.
Okay.
Since you mentioned Wednesday, Crestview High School, Ms. Branscombe, Ms. Beasley, I know y'all are aware of this, but Step One Automotive is going to be donating a car to the automotive
Oh.
department at Crestview High School, and they're going to do a presentation at 10 o'clock, because I know 10 o'clock and then rush down to Niceville for the symphony thing. So I appreciate you saying that to remind me to thank Step One Automotive, a great business partner
Yeah.
within our school district.
Yeah. Well, this is time of year where we're on the road, school board members and members of the district, but it's a good thing. Keep us busy, but that's great because all wonderful things, and this time of year you start to kind of see where all those seeds were planted are growing, and we're getting that, and so it's fun, but very busy schedule. Got to keep that calendar handy. Okay, so now we're to 14, which will be public comment using the yellow card. 14.1, members of the public desiring to address the school board with general comments. All right, we do have we have public hearing tonight, 15.1, public hearing for adoption of Resolution 24-05, approving the proposed land purchase contract between the School Board of Okaloosa County, Florida, and D.R. Horton for a parcel of real property located at Lovejoy Road and Hill Avenue, Fort Walton Beach, Florida, presented by Dr. Smith. Our second item, 15.2, public hearing for the adoption of revised School Board Policy 08-07, requirements for instructional personnel, presented by Dr. Hale. So we'll do that tonight at 6:15. Okay. And then, does anyone else have any comments this morning they'd like to make for the good of the district? All right, then I believe that moves us to adjournment. All right. I adjourn this meeting.